Okay, so this video is an apology to anyone that's tried to make this and had a hard time. I had a subscriber tell me that they tried to make it and it was difficult to follow, and I apologize so much to anybody doing this. Um, this was something new to me, and teaching tutorial, I'm usually doing it in stitches or like a foundation chain and up. I very rarely work in a round, and I did a very bad job of helping you understand that, and I'm sorry. But we can do this another way if you like the way this looks, because it is a very pretty stitch. We can make it not in the round, but just straight stitch and work ourselves up and connect the whole thing together. Make one big seam by attaching it, making it round that way. So that's what we're going to do. Again, you could do this by still, making it look as smooth here as the rib stitch, and of course here we'll hide any kind of noticeable seam because we're going to do the wrap, or if you put a button, any way that you decide to do that. You go to flower here, that would be pretty. And so we're going to try this again, an alternative way of making it, and hopefully it makes it easier for anybody who has tried to watch that tutorial. And I am so sorry that it was so hard to follow, and hopefully with practice I can get better at that. And thank you for continue to follow me even after that bad tutorial. And so let's do the alternative way. So if you do like this stitch, we'll figure it, we can find a way that'll make it work. So I had to make that twice, and I'm not sure, but I think I failed to mention that this woven shell stitch is in multiples of 6. Now, it worked out for me because my band was 66. That made it a multiple of 6, and that's why I picked this stitch, because I knew it would go along with it. Now, if you need this bigger, I don't think it'd be smaller. This is, a tight fit even at 66. Need a little bit bigger, then there's always a way to fiddle with the middle part, because you are hiding this. So you could have some, do your stitches this way, just a little bit different, and make it work if you wanted it to, or hopefully it works out being the width you wanted it to be. So this one's 66 at 672. If you're making a bigger headband, hopefully that would still fit the size you need. But we're gonna try this again. It's the math. If the math works, this is a good stitch to use. And if it doesn't work, then what's nice is you can pick a stitch that will work with it. Because I was going to do this again, we're using a different stitch to show a variety of ways you can do it. It's not just this way. So again, I'm going to keep apologizing because I feel so bad making such a bad tutorial and putting it up on here and making it hard for you guys to follow. So we're going to do this an alternative way, so you can get this headband and hopefully work. So let's get started in that. I am going to start out with a foundation row of 9. So we're just going to put our slip stitch. I'm doing this in a gray, kind of a neutral winter color. That'd be good for winter rather. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want 8 stitches all together. So we're going to be skipping this one, and we're going to go in here, and we're going to have 8 single crochets. Now this ribbed mine are all single crochets. After this row we will be doing a back loop only, and just little tricks I do. I use stitch markers for every 10 stitches, and that way I keep up with how many I have. So when we get done here, we want to look back. You want to make sure, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what we want. I am chaining 1 and turning, and we're going to just do back stitch only. So this is going to be the rim of our hat, or our head ear warmer. I'm not working a hat. I might try a hat. So we just want to work this together. That last one can be a little, you might have to look for it. So that it bends down just a little bit more. Chain one, and we're going to do again back loop only. And we're going to start seeing our little ridges. I'm just going to do some of these rows together just to get you started. And then you can build it up to where you need. Again, if you want the woven shell, unfortunately it is in the multiples of 7. I can kind of help if you need like a row or two more to fit. Then you can always make that your where you put your wrap and cinching it to get down. You could do it there and hide that. But again, hope this is the only thing about this stitch being in that. We're just going to make a long band and we're going to work from there. And hopefully this helps anybody that had a hard time with my other tutorial. And I need to work on doing that better. I've watched other people and try to pick up the good things they do, but I need more work on that. So I do apologize again because I just feel bad. So here we go. Excuse me. So this is what we're going to end up doing. And I like counting. This is technically would be the where we started. So it could be the right side, but I like counting from the back side because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 5th row. But I can count, you kind of see this, how that section's here. So that's 2, 4, of course one more, make it 6. And then when I get to 10, I'll put a stitch marker, then I can count that up. So go ahead and make your band to where it'll fit, and hopefully it's a multiple of 6, and then we could work from there. And this is again from a child's size, and it fits when you measure around, it fits up to a size 20 inch. So I'm making this a 17, 18 type length, and then it should fit a 20. And again, we talked about the pull of your yarn. It makes it easier or more difficult. So that does make a difference. This that pink and blue that I use, very stretchy. So that makes a difference in how tight it is of your stitch. So go ahead, if you're following along, go ahead and make it the band where you need to be. I'm making 66. So that should get the width I need for a young child. And I will come back and finish that up with you later, then when I get to the round, or get to the end. Sorry, it's not a round today. I have reached my 66 rows of the rib, and I'm going to take out my stitch markers, and I'm going to chain 1, but then I'm going to put a half double crochet in each of these rows, and then we can start our making our woven stitch. Okay, so let's just do that. Am I doing it? Yep, okay. So remember, just a half double crochet. We're going to put that in each of our rows all the way down, and then you want to make sure you have as many half doubles as you do rows. So should have 66. So I'm going to see you here in just a little bit. Okay, so I have my half double crochet all on top, and so I'm going to actually chain 2. I chained 1. I'm going to make another 1, And this is where we're going to start our pattern. So we are not going to work in this one. We're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work our first set of 3 double crochets here. So there's 1, 2, 3, then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we are going to leave an empty space in between, so we're skipping this one and going back to the second one from our what we just did, and we're going to work 3 double crochets there. 1, 2, 3, and not all curled up, but we'll straighten that out here in just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to skip 1 and put a double crochet. Okay, so we're going to straighten this, where we're going to straighten this out so we can see that stitch. Okay, that's a little loose. Let's see if we can make that better. We're skipping 1, and these are the ones we're going to be working in. We skipped 1, and these are our working chains, so I'm going to do 3. Chain 3, and then we're going to skip 1 behind and go to the next one. So we're crossing over. We got 1, 2, and 3. We skip 1 and put a double crochet in it. And you can always go back and kind of straighten that out. So there's our second one. Now we're going to do that all the way across. Our single crochet has a skipped one before and after. Then the next 3 stitches is what we're going to work our woven shell. 1, 2, 3, chain 3. Remember, when we look back, we're skipping 1 and going back to the second one from what we're doing. I'm going to talk about this yarn a little bit too. Here's 1, 2, 3. Then we're always going to skip 1 and put the single crochet, and that's the repeat for the row. Okay, you can kind of sit there and kind of straighten them out a little bit, and that's what we're going to be looking like. And we're going to do that all the way to the end, and then we'll pick it right back up. Okay, so I'm at the end, and I just made a double crochet at the end. So if you have 66 rows, this is what it's going to look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 little woven stitches with the half double crochets in between. So this is how row 2 starts, and now I only do 2 rows for the headband. This will, well, got that my yarn wrong. Okay, and so row 2, we're still going to chain 2. 1, 2. I had chained 1 already. Let's go back because I automatically did it without thinking about it. So 1, 2. We're going to turn, and we are going to work in this beginning stitch here 3 double crochets. 1, 2. Oop, didn't get that, did I? 3. Now, in all the chain 3 stitches right here, we are going to be putting one single crochet. So we're going to look at what we're going to be working in. There's our woven stitch. On this one, we are going to be working on the middle one right here. We are going to work, that's the one we're going to work in. And we're going to make 3 double crochets. And 3, we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to come back and catch that middle one here. And we're going to put 3. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to be still doing the woven stitch. Get the right one. And then we're going to be putting a single crochet in that chain 3 stitch. We can straighten it back out and we can kind of see what that's looking like. And so we're working in this part of the woven shell into the next woven shell. So we're going to do this side first, then come back to this side. So we're going to be working our 3 double crochets. I think I put that in the wrong one. Hold on. Let's come back out. Okay. So we have 1, 2. There it is. Is that right? One right there. Okay. I'm not. Maybe I did have it in the right space. It didn't look like it. So we go 1, 2, 3. We are going to chain 3. And then we're going to come back on the previous row and find the middle one. And we're going to do 3 of our double crochets. And that's going to be our woven pattern for this row. And then, of course, the single crochet here. All right, so our next set are going to be here and here. And then we're going to do that at the end, and we'll meet there, and then we'll finish off this row, and then connect our ends together to make our headband. Okay, so we're going to end this row with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So our final part of this headband is going to be trying to make this an even end, and then we'll put it together. So let's get that one started. Okay, so I'm just going to chain 1, and let's see if I can make this work. I'm just kind of straightening them out. And what we're going to do is just adjust our stitches to fit the up and down. So I am just going to be doing a half double crochets here, until I get to our peak. Let's see if that's going to make, yeah, I think so. And then it will get different with in our peak. I am just doing a slip stitch, and then I'm going to do a single crochet. Now these are, once we got this started, filled in, this is what we're going to do in between. I got a single crochet, then I do 2 half doubles, Let me see, do we need maybe one more? And then we're going to do a double crochet here. Oh, that's not a double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then I'm going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to do 3 half double crochets and then a double crochet. Oh, well, that try again. 2, 3, and then I'm just going to do, and then a slip stitch. And this is where we start single, half, 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 double, and a double crochet with a slip stitch in here. So this is what it should look like. It's not totally flat. If you have a better stitch pattern that works for you, you can always share it with me at the bottom, at the end, in the comment, and hopefully this is what just works with me. It just gives it a little bit of a curve without having the gaps. So I'm going to do that all the way to the end. Okay, so I've just put on a yarn needle, and what I'm going to do is we're going to just slip stitch this together, and we're going to try to I'm going to try, you guys can, we're matching each stitch together. Okay, so now these, I'm just making sure I'm catching every stitch. I'm trying to pair them up. And when I get to the ribbed one, I will be picking specific stitches to hopefully make that look good on the other side. And I'm hoping, if my round tutorials really is being difficult to understand, if you really want to make this stitch in a headband, this will help you achieve that. Come, get off of there. And this is how I do my pumpkins too. I just kind of make sure I'm connecting each stitch together. Now we're getting to the ribbed one. I'm going to be picking up the back loop of that stitch. And this is kind of half and half sometimes. I do have to look back and see if it's working out the way I think it is. I'll pick up the wrong stitch, so we're gonna hope I've got it the right one today. I know maybe if you follow some other crocheters, they've been they give really good tutorials, and I'm hoping to get as good as a lot of them. Hope to be able to explain myself more to everyone, so it's easier to follow. But I'm hoping by repetition, practice, really trying hard to make this easier for you guys to see, is thank you for being patient with me until I actually achieve that. I do appreciate it, and all I can say is I hope I get better each try. Like I said, I'm not usually working on a round. I don't do hats, and maybe if I had did worked more often, I'd be a better explainer. And so I'm not trying to give excuses. I'm just saying I'm sorry. I'm trying to explain why. It's not something I do very often, but maybe the more I do it, the better it will be. Better it will be to understand my tutorial. So there we go. We put our hat together. And this for some reason looked bigger, so we're gonna hope. I put it on my granddaughter. It seemed to do okay. So I just knotted. I knotted that. I don't know if that was in line or not, but I knotted it, and I am just, because I did such a big knot in it, I am just going to trim it. You can weave your ends in. If I was doing this for somebody else, I probably would. But here we go. Let's see what we have. So there's where we put it together. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to take our yarn, and I am going to do what we've been doing. I'm going to bring it up. Actually, I'm going to put it in the back. So we're going to go all the way through with this. My finger's back here so I can hold it. And so we are going to do our gathering. Well, I see I'm going to do it. Come on. Well, that didn't work very well. All right, let's just do it this way. We're going to go on top of here. And this time I'm actually going to hold that down. Come down where you want to. And we're going to tighten it. This is, give it a good tug. And start looping that around. Get it as tight as we want it to go. I do have other tutorials. I want to give all the ones that you liked in the video when I asked which ones you would like to see. We are going to get them done. But this is just a repeat since it was such a difficult one to follow. And so we are just going to gather this together. Let me finish this up and we'll tie it off. Okay, so in the back, I'm just going to try to tie this off. And then I am going to thread this and feed it through some stitches to give us a nice finish back here. I don't want to make a knot because I don't want it to be bulky. So that's what we're going to do here. And then we're done with it. So I'm just going to go hide my yarn through here. Well, I need a smaller tail. Come back here. So, because I want to thread it back up. There we go. And then we're going to just come down here and catch this and thread it back up that way to secure it. Hopefully. There we go. And I'm just going to trim it and pull this out because that's just loose. And there we go. So there is a gray one. I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit. At the bottom, I gathered. There we go. All right, guys. I hope that looks okay. With our pink one here. So that doesn't look too far from each other. So I hope that looks okay and you enjoyed the alternative way of making this headband. Guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you with the next video.